Okay, back. It's been a crazy week. This was supposed to be like maybe a 2 night thing, and because of storm and stuff, and then me having to go into work, I haven't been able to get to it. So my plan was to be done with it Wednesday, and then storms came in, and then on Friday night I got a call at eight at night. So it's Saturday now, so getting a little bit of a late start. But anyway, where we're at now, I ran the wires from the winch uh, from underneath. I got to zip tie these down. I got the positive just right on that nut, the negative over here. What I'm gonna do to winch the roping for now, because this is gonna go to an upfitter switch, is I'm going to just connect this direct right now, and then it'll have power so I can actually winch it in. And then when I'm done, I'll move it to the upfitter switch for inside the truck so that it will only have power when I actually turn it on. Also, what I did is I took a little notch out of there, so when you put the cover back on, it fits through there. So to get this on the drum, you got this little wire that you twist, put through the loop, and then you're gonna use some needle nose pliers wrapped around the wire to pull it in. Okay, after a quick review, I was feeding it in backwards, so that's why I didn't have enough space to put that piece in. So now you put the piece in there and then pull it out so that it goes up inside. So all I'm gonna do is put the piece in there with the like a shape like a P. The fatter part's gonna go towards the center, and then I'm just gonna pull the rope back in, and then it'll be stuck in there. Okay, so I got it in there like that, and the next thing I'm supposed to do is just pull up on the rope, and it should go up inside of there. So there it is, pulled up in there. It's pretty tight as F. So the next thing is to wind it up. So there it is, all wound up in there. So I'm just waiting for the what do you call it? The factor 55 shackle mount, and then that'll go up on the front, and I can pull it in the rest of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to touch up these tow hooks because I scratched the shit out of them with the bumper. That was some trial and error stuff. So I'm probably going to move this truck because every time I put it up and down on the lift, it moves over. So I'm not liking that. So I have to recenter it. But pretty much I got to do the upfitter switch to this now because after I wound it up, I disconnected it so that I can hook it up to the actual switch wire. And then I got to do the fan, cooling fan for the oil cooler, and then the skid plate. Okay, things removed from the truck for this. It wasn't that bad. Unfortunately, not that much weight, but so you got this piece here. This was in the center of the bumper that ties the two sides together. So that's cut out so that winch mount can fit in between. Here's a piece of the center of the grill where the fair lead's coming out of. These are two supports that go from this somewhere. Yeah, it goes from this to the gray part of this front skid. The original oil cooler mount. This is removed and not harmed, so there's nothing wrong with it. And then there's going to be new mounts. This is what held up the skid plate. There's new mounts. They're way beefier than this to hold up the skid plate. And then this piece here went directly behind where the fair lead is, all the way across. So, yeah. I'm sure that, yeah, I know that directs air up in there, but I don't know. I'm thinking if I do this thing, I'm probably gonna put an inner chiller on it and call it, then it won't matter what the air temperature is. So I just wanted to show you the parts that have to come off. And I got to reposition this truck because every time I lift it and lower it, it's shifting over. I don't know if it's because the axle, when it drops down, it might move slightly side to side, and then every time I pick it back up, I don't know. So I got to recenter it because I don't like how crooked it is. So, like I said, I'm at the maximum capacity of this lift with this truck. At least I feel it is. I mean, it says 9,000, but when you're at 7,000, you're more than 2/3. So, all right, I'm gonna reposition this, and then basically I got the skid plate and the wiring of the fan. I'm probably gonna switch the fan wiring. I'm gonna check the amps and see if the outfitter's wire I have is enough amps for the fan. If it is, then I'll just use it. If not, I'll swap it with my lights on the top, because those only using 6 amps total for all 4, so I can use a smaller gauge for that. So all right, we'll get back to it. So these are the parts left to go on there. So these are the brackets that are going to go from the bottom of the winch mount to the gray part of the bumper where the original brackets were. Now these definitely are going to be stronger than the originals, but I mean, these are like 1/8 inch steel instead of like sheet metal. So, but the main thing of the skid plate is this one, 1/4 inch plates. These get bolted also to the big center square part of that winch mount, instead of those little flimsy things that were on the original oil cooler mount. So I'm not saying that the skid plate's going to take more damage probably than anything else. So I'm not saying it's going to make it anything super strong, but it's got to be better, because I'm thinking if you hit that, your oil cooler could get moved anyway. So we'll go again about the oil cooler again once I get the skid plate mounted, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about with the distance, the way it is and where it's at. It can't really get pushed up right there, and if it does, your truck's going to be way more fucked up, and you're not going to be worried about oil coolers. So all right, I gotta reposition this truck. Okay, so here's everything again before I start working on putting those things on. You got the cooler there. The rope is loaded. I got the wiring zip tied to the frame, and then it goes up to the battery where I was wiring it earlier. So next thing I need to do is make up these brackets to put the skid plate back on, and then I gotta extend this, just the hot wire. I see there's a ground right there. I'll probably use that. to ground that fan motor. So I just need to extend this blue one. So I got do a couple things with that, and I'll get back to the video. Okay, so these are the brackets put together from the winch plate to the lower part of the bumper. Now there's some holes up here, and that last thing is just to hold the skid plate up, and then that's it. So I gotta see how those go up there. Alright, thank God I got this figured out. Once there's like some real instructions on it, well, actually this will help, right? So here's these side plates. These are the plates that are going to hold the front of the skid plate. It's wedged in between there, so it can't rotate. I mean, not very easily. Okay, and then you just bolt your half-inch bolts up through there, and a nut on top. And same with this side, obviously. So now all I gotta do is hook that fan wire up. I just gotta run it to the top, and then I could just put this thing down, and I'll do the wiring with it outside so I can open the doors all the way. It would be 10 times easier. Oh, I guess also I have to put this little plastic piece back up here. But yeah, so doing it again would go super fast. It's just me having to figure some things out. So so far I'm liking it. Alright, so as far as putting the skid plate on, like the stock one does, where you kind of hang it, since these bolts are in slots, and they might move a little, but really you can just hold them up like that. So now it's hanging. And that's it. Now I brought this thing in to get the that springs changed on the driver's side for the lean, and the dealer forgot to put 2 of my bolts in, so I'm gonna have to go back and get those, because right now I only have 4, the long ones and the new ones I got up in front. But really, that's it. Just a matter of up on it. Stock setup. I just have to put these plastic things in here and pull that wire up to the top, but I don't have to do nothing down here no more. Now there's about the room you got with the oil cooler. I mean, you're gonna have to smash that skid plate up higher than the shocks, the shock reservoir, to get to it. And I don't know, I don't plan on doing any big jumping or anything, but I'm not really worried about that. So if some people are worried about it, then I guess you're worried about it, but then it ain't for you. But I think for most, this setup will work out perfect, especially if you don't want to change the front bumper. So now I have to lower it down, and then I just gotta hook up basically 2 wires, and that's should be it. Okay, it's done. Um, I did potluck on the aux switches. I had number 5 and number 6 left. I just hooked them up, and then I just went inside, put it in run, and hit number 6. Number 6 is that cooling fan on the oil cooler. So I'm gonna look through the settings. I can't remember if you can set it to just come on with the ignition. I think you can. So the winch now is clutchless. So let's check that out. Okay, so I got the key just in the on position. So to turn this on, just hit this button here, and it's coming on. You want to select the winch, so hit it again. I think. Oh, I have to turn that aux switch on. It's not there. You got it. So that's why you want the aux switch. So then, for any chance that another person's got the same frequency, you don't want your winch to start running. So it asks you to press these two for 3 seconds. Okay. So now, if I want to free spool, I just hit the clutch button. Lock it back in, just hit the button. Now the clutch is locked back again, and you don't have to go underneath to do anything like that. There's the motor temperature, battery, and then you can cycle through. If you used the aux ports, you could control lights or whatever too. Home, and then I'm just gonna, for now, shut it off. All right, so what I'm gonna put on here is this right here. It's gonna sit flat up on the barely. Just like that. I'll shut this down. And the remote's off. So for me to turn the power off to the winch, number 5, now it's off. And here's the fan. You'll be able to hear that run. And that's it. Finally, it's done. So, all in all, the whole setup's not bad. It's just that since I've never done it before and it was a whole new thing, as far as no, like I said, it was just schematics and it was kind of like a trial fit. So, but everything lined up. There was very slight modifications to a few pieces that I'll let them know about. But the setup, you can't get no better than that, with it all hidden in there and tucked away if you want that stock look, which I definitely do. And I can call it done. I'll do a review on it after I use it a little bit, but I think that's, you got the truck that like this, you might as well have a top of the line winch on it too. So that's gonna wrap it up for the install on it. I will do something about the review, but that's all I got. Anyway, I'd like to thank Paul from Swarfworks for sending out that kit to me for the truck, and I had a good experience putting it on. I think I really love the truck a lot more now, because when I had my Power Wagon, I really never wanted a different truck, until that one came out, obviously because of the engine that's in it, or the whole drivetrain. And I always thought it was missing a winch. So now it has it. So I think a lot of people transition from Power Wagons to this truck, and I think a lot of people are thinking the same thing. So for those people, would probably want to get that. But yeah, so if you want to look this up, and I don't know when he's going to have them like mass produced, but I would just look it up at any time. But Swarfworks, TRX hidden winch, just Google that. It's gonna come up. He's selling the kit for like $6.99. So just look that up, and you'll see if it's in stock or not. I'm not sure if it's gonna be yet or not, but email him or whatever, and maybe he communicates with me. Maybe I can let you guys know at some time frames of production. So until next time, thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. This one was a lot of work as far as setting up and everything, and actually me having to work through late and kind of messing it up for me. But yeah, so please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.